40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
Welcome. Finally, it is time to put on display one of the great racing venues in these United States. Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. Welcome to Portland International Raceway for the very first time on Turn 200. Very, very excited to get to this just a tick under 2-mile circuit. 12 turns and a whole lot of danger and not a whole lot of places to avoid it. That's the name of the game here tonight. Welcome to coverage of the GoSquadra from the Super Series round number 3 of the season here tonight after a week off. It's Tommy Cook and it's Jeff Mathis back in the booth tonight. Partner, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the off week. And boy, do we have a show for the folks out in Turn 200 land here tonight.
Thank you, Tommy. We sure do. I spent my off week like a fair amount of people at Indianapolis watching the 500. As a fan of New Zealand drivers, it was a horrible race for myself. All of my happiness was mostly gone by 1 p.m. But luckily we got Portland now. This is going to be a crazy race. This is a 1.94 mile track. Very short track, very fast lap. I don't expect any of the cars are going to qualify, take more than a minute to qualify. Pole time is looking to be somewhere in the mid 56 second range.
And certainly some extra dough on the line for the driver who will put it on pole for the sprint here momentarily. Let's go take a look at the points standings, as for some reason it's not center on the screen. There we go. But an even 100 points for Byron Daly, who we did not call out a ton last week at Road Atlanta. Not necessarily a bad thing. One driver that is just off the points graphic here is Titus Sherlock, who vaulted himself all the way up to P6 in the standings. But still a narrow lead for Daly over Thiago Spencer heading into tonight. Sarah Guerra had quite a good night at Road Atlanta on the 4D Racewear Top Am side of things. Guerra right now leading the standings, also by 1 marker over Kyle Allen. Anybody's name jumping off at you here from the pages? We didn't see a whole lot of shuffling there in the top 5 in the standings.
Sure didn't. Tiago Spencer started Road Atlanta with a tough start by having a pit start to begin with, but bounced back from that phenomenally, and really his name of his weekend was damage control. He did a phenomenal job and looking to probably continue doing that, although I think his pole streak is in jeopardy here.
Certainly he is. I think he is done. We've only got a couple of drivers out on the track right now. Let's see if we could give you a good look potentially at a lap around this track. One driver that is coming to the green flag right now, I believe, will be Michael Costello. So we will go roll bar cam with Costello here. Into turn number 1, and you can abuse those curbs there. It's risky business, but you do not pick up a slowdown or an off track or anything of the sort there into turn number 1.
No, it is, the wall is your limit there, and so you can use as much of it as you want, and these cars, they can do it, but they don't react greatly to it.
So around the long looping left-hander there in turn number 6 to the right-hander in turn 7. Down what used to be Victory Boulevard. Little dog leg right action, full pace, full beans down into a medium break there into turn number 10. A quick flick of the wrist left, and then the Carnival. That's what they used to call it when it was a street circuit. It's what I've been reliably informed of anyway. But that is a lap. You said it. Just a little bit short of a minute.
Yeah, that was a 57-second lap. That was, I think, good for 10th place there.
Yes, it was.
Expecting a lot out of the Eclipse drivers today. Most of them have raced here in USF 2000 or other PM18 related classes. So they should be fairly strong here. I don't think Costello would be actually too terribly pleased with that. As he sits in 10th, currently behind 2 provisionally AM drivers, Zachary Smith in 6th and Sarah Guerra in 9th.
Guerra had a pretty good run in practice, was top 5 for much of the 50-minute warm-up session. It's a little lock-up of the brakes there. Into the final turn, turn number 12 for Costello, looking to improve on his second lap. And across the stripe, he will do just that. Goes sub 57, 56, 94. That is good enough to put him up an extra row to the outside of row number 4. And he will call his qualifying session good there. Appreciate anybody that's hanging out with us. We got Engine Motor already cheering on Sarah Guerra, who got the 4D Racewear Top Am at Road Atlanta with an 8th place finish. Nicely done for Sarah there. We'll see if they can follow it up here tonight at Portland. Right now, Tanner DeFabis on the provisional pole, and nobody is out on the track. So it looks like it's going to stay that way. And DeFabis with a little extra cash in hand, but I would imagine this is a daunting dash down into the chicane here in turn number 1.
Dare I say, being in front of anyone can make this a terrifying turn. He's got a clean track in front of him, so he can kind of make his own destiny. But it only will take a very small lock of the brakes by someone else to have a very significant ramification for his start of his race.
Well, let's go now to the starting grid here, ready for the 15-minute sprint for round number 3 of the season. It's here at Portland International Raceway. And the starting grid will look like this. Tanner DeFabis on pole. He's still in the top 5 in the standings. Kostek Solwij needs a good night here tonight. Kostek will line up in the 2nd position, where he ran a lot of the feature at Road Atlanta. Joao de Gregorio, the Season 1 champ, needs a bounce back as well. He'll start in 3rd. Titus Sherlock broke out the broom at Road Atlanta a couple weeks ago. He'll line up on the outside of row number 2. Tiago Spencer has been great in the sprint races this season. He's 2nd in the points, 5th on the starting grid. Zachary Smith, top am from Phillip Island a couple weeks ago, starting in P6. G3 Argyros, I believe I'm saying that correct. Not 100% sure, though. G3, though, starting 7th on the grid next to Michael Costello. Jeff Groff and Sarah Guerra round out your top 10. On the grid, it is Nate Siefker and Christian Jasper. On row number 6, Kevin Bonomi and Matt Johnston. On row number 7, Jeff Lawler and Dakota DeMade. On row number 8, Brian Labarge. I believe as the pit lane start, multiple other drivers do as well. Zach Flaum, Nick Goyette, and Tommy Reval round out the top 20 starters here. 28 drivers looking to take, if not to the starting grid, at least to the pit lane here for the start of the sprint race here at Portland. Let's quickly take a look at the weather conditions. Very interesting cooling of the track here between qualifying and the race.
Yeah, I think we had some clouds come over after qualifying. Winds out of the west at 11, so I believe it'll be a headwind down the front straightaway, which will help them breaking into turn 1. Fairly cool air temp and a reasonable track temp. But a hallmark of this car is how hard the tire is, and that is going to make getting tire temp important, very, very important. So these first couple laps could be very sketchy as cars are coming up to temps in different ways.
Not sure if it'll be quite as argy-bargy as it was at Road Atlanta or just downright scary, but 17 incidents will get you a drive-through penalty, and a 25X is a disqualification for both the races. 200 seconds of push to pass for these drivers as they get ready to head down towards turn number 1. We're underway. Not some great starts there as we're fanning out, nearly 3 wide for the race lead. DeFabis, and big-time contact are Giros and multiple other Sargueras involved there. What an absolute cluster here into the first turn, and that is what we were fearing. We'll take a replay of that
stay
here
green.
just in a moment. Yes, we stay green for now. We will take a good long look at that, I'm sure. Danner DeFabis right now leading. Joao de Gregorio is through to second. It is Solveig back to third. Michael Costello vaults all the way up to fourth. Right now, top AM is Zachary Smith here in fifth. Jeff Groff is on the scene as Smith trying to work on Costello for P4. They're all file back into line here. Third Victory Boulevard. Still lots of shuffling here. Dakota DeMade all the way up to seventh. Zach Flaum up 10 spots, up to eighth. Schlosser and Claiborne up 13 each, in and around the top 10. Lots and lots of trouble, especially for Thiago Spencer and Titus Sherlock, who are back in the pits.
Yeah, Siefker, Sherlock, Spencer, and Argios and Moss have all had penalties. I see someone coming to the pit lane right now, missing both wings. That's Siefker. Oh, it's dog walking as well.
I would say Jasper Siefker, that is Argiros, and Lawler, all down pit road, all with quite a bit of damage on these vehicles. Right now, this is the lead for Tanner DeFabis. It is 1 second over Joao de Gregorio. Kostik Solveig in third. It's Michael Costello now gapping Jeff Groff by a bit. Zachary Smith, Dakota DeMade, Zach Flaum, Matt Johnston, and Matt Schlosser, the top 10. As things have settled down, at least temporarily, we'll keep an eye on the action in real time, but we'll have to go back and see if we can see where this one starts other than right at the front of this field. So we're riding behind Thiago Spencer here. That was not a great start from Solveig. That gets him fanned out. And then, oh my goodness, somebody, I don't know if they didn't know that we were doing the, I don't even know who that is. I think that's Argiros.
As I said, this is the very low grip, and it doesn't take much to pinch a brake and sail yourself off into the rest of them.
I was going to say, he definitely just misjudged it there. I thought maybe he forgot that we were running the chicane, but, I mean, just sailed it in there, and that is really where the bulk of the damage and destruction comes from. Youch. So come back live.
DeFabis still leading De Gregorio over Solveig. Nothing has been changing too terribly much up there.
And there's Matt Schlosser going off into the grass. He was under fire from Matt Johnston. Now this is going to cost him a spot to Cody Claiborne as he cuts through turn number 11. He's back on the road in P11. Top AM honors right now for the sprint belong to Zachary Smith in 6th. He's got Jeff Groff in his crosshairs 1 second up the road.
Gator had a simple off and on there in the final corners as well. Continued on, nothing too concerning from them.
Back to It's Johnston. It's a Matt sandwich with a Cody Claiborne for the meet right now. Johnston in front, Schlosser behind. And there goes Johnston off the road.
Rejoined safely, so that's simple enough for Cody.
That kind of ruins the sandwich.
Don't know that he really wanted to be part of that sandwich.
No. Well, Claiborne will pick off 2 by technically not making any on-track passes. So Claiborne up to 9th. Right now would have the AM Silver. Let's go back up the road here. This is Joao de Gregorio and Kostik Solwij. A sluggish start, but has recovered nicely and now is applying the pressure here to the the season 1 champion.
And looking at it, Lawler has also appeared to have retired from this race. He had his issues on lap 1, went back out, and then at some point the left front appears to have come adrift of the car.
We're riding on the roll bar cam with Solwij here. You can see the rear end sliding out around the fast turns. I mean, you took some practice laps. It's a little sketchy to say the least, especially for the high rate of speed these guys are hauling the mail around here.
Yes, and our good friends at Yokohama, they built a very good tire, but it takes a while to get it up to traction in these slow corners where you don't have the downforce from the wings and the body. It makes for a very tough time, and there's a handful of really slow corners here that really will push the driver as hard as they can.
Last time around, purple lap went to Michael Costello. He's only about 2 seconds behind Solwij and Di Gregorio here. Tanner DeFabis is lapping fast enough to keep away from Di Gregorio and company. So he's adding to the gap here. It's just over 2 seconds now, as that is your race leader just up the road here, rounding the circus.
While Costello may have the fastest lap, currently DeFabis does have the fastest 5-lap average by almost a full second over Costello and half a second over anybody else.
Ooh.
So he's in a pretty strong place.
Problems for Peter Donchak, back on the road with some dirty tires. Inside of 9 minutes to go now. I always say it, but it feels especially applicable here. Without a mistake from Di Gregorio, where can Kostik make this move if he wants to try and get up the second?
That is a great question. He'd have to be very close, and the best passing chance is into turn 1. Probably the second best passing chance is out of the turn 1 chicane. Other than that, you're just going to have to rely on Di Gregorio making a mistake, which wouldn't fill me with a lot of hope and confidence for that pass, because he doesn't tend to do very many mistakes.
Well, Kostik's doing what he needs to do here. He is keeping pace with Di Gregorio and is having a look here to the right side into the chicane. A little loose there on exit, but does not really lose all that much time. It's just about a car length between the two.
Oh, and we do have somebody in the wall, the final corner. It is Matt Schlosser. He is nose into the wall and towed.
Yes. So he'll head back to the pits. We'll take a look at this quickly. Schlosser was running inside of the top 10. Oh, and he was trying to make the right-hand turn through the final turn and caught the grass with the left side tire, and that made him overcorrect.
Peter Donchak did a very similar thing exiting the corner just now. He's Austin Powers in it around. The car is fine, and he has decided to tow.
So there's Costello lurking in the background, a second and a half behind Di Gregorio in Solwij. And DeFabis' lead all of a sudden is shrinking. Di Gregorio is catching up. 1 1/4 seconds. It was just over 2 a couple laps ago.
We've also got Zach Flaum and Dakota DeMade are quite close to each other. Looked like there was almost an attempt going into turn 1 there on DeMade.
That is 7th and 8th with Cody Claiborne 3 seconds behind. Right now, Zachary Smith still the 40 racewear top and with a sprint thus far.
And he is hanging right with Groff and probably getting pulled along on the big, long drafting straightaway there.
Yes, he is. Slightly different line there on the entry to turn number 10. Ooh, and loose there on exit, putting the power down for Smith. Back up to second we go. Kostick giving it all that he's got. De Gregorio behind. DeFavis maintaining a 1.3 second lead right now. It was narrowing up. Now it's holding steady as, man, De Gregorio looking all kinds of loose here.
Can you believe we're already almost 10 minutes into this race? This is a
No.
very fast race and very hectic race. It's all the anger and aggression of a street circuit in a field.
Parked across the track, that was Sebring Stoll. Sebring is back up and rolling now, running in the 17th position. And that was Sebring Smoke there that the drivers in second and third just rolled through. They've started to pull back away from Michael Costello, but the bad news for them is that Tanner DeFavis has started to pull back away as well. He just ran a personal fastest lap, only about 0.06 of a second off of the purple lap. It was a 57.57 for DeFavis last time by.
Yeah, very close. Currently in the 10th, which will be inverting to first, is Kevin Bonomi, and he does have the fastest 3 and 5 lap average of the entire race right now. So I think in the future he'll be one to look at.
I say he's always one to look at if he's in the field, and he's got all 4 wheels on that. He finished second, his best ever GoSquadra Formula Super Series finish in our season opener at Phillip Island, where he led the majority of that race as well. He would love to go one better here tonight at Portland. Hello to Matt Short hanging out in the chat with us. Hello from work.
Good to see you, Matt.
Take a quick gander back at Zachary Smith, applying the pressure to Jeff Groff as they head down the front straightaway into the chicane.
Ooh, fast in for Groff. I don't think there's any chance of him getting overtaken there, but he rushed his entry there a little bit. These cars do not react very well over that curb, so you do have to be careful with that.
We talked about De Gregorio and Kostick pulling away from Michael Costello. Well, last time by, Costello, purple lap, and now he's inside of a second. So Costello is laying down some heaters here in the final 5 minutes of this one, 3.5 minutes to go.
Costa got him a little too close there. I think that kind of hurt his entry there.
I think he's starting to realize that he needs to make this move, otherwise he is going to be moved upon. And if there's somebody I don't want being on offense on me, it would probably be Michael Costello, because he will do whatever it takes to get through. Very good when he's on the offensive. We go roll bar cam here with the pursuer running in fourth with eyes on a sprint podium here inside of 3 minutes to go. Problems for Sarah Guerra. Guerra is off the track. That is in the final
simple
turn.
off. Yeah, simple off and on. She's continuing.
Oh, that was a move there by Kostick into the final couple of turns, but that is going to cost him some time here.
Oh, he got a good run out of the final corner, though.
Oh, boy. Solveig now, look at a combo move, maybe trying to take the long way around, shuts the door on Costello, and De Gregorio's wide into Kostick, and Costello's going to get a 2-for-1 here in Portland. Costello up to second, De Gregorio with the contact with Solveig, and Joie is back to third, Kostick back to fourth. Man.
He blocked on the entry, and I don't think he's been over there very much. That tightened up his corner, and he showed up to turn 2 much tighter than he'd expected, and it looked like it locked the inside front and kind of shoveled him out wide. Very smart by Costello there to notice what was about to happen.
We said he went on aggressive offense, but that was very tactical, very calculated, and it is going to pay off for him big time. Problems for Matt Johnston. He is off the road. That is going to cost him a spot in the top 10. He's back out in 14th. So he is now out of the invert.
Doesn't appear to be too much damage, if any damage on his car, so he will continue.
Tanner DeFavis, 1.8 second advantage now over Michael Costello. As Costello is into some fairly heavy lap traffic here. So that is only going to put Tanner DeFavis a little bit more at ease, coming to what would be the white flag in the sprint. DeFavis, never a sprint winner in the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. Having himself a pretty nice season up to this point. Top 5 in the standings. And now he is 2 miles from a sprint victory. 1 to go.
Zachary Smith continuing to lead AM. Claiborne second in the AM positions, but very far, almost half a lap away. Allen is third. He's just behind Claiborne on track, but there is about 6 seconds in between them. So I think the AM podium is looking pretty solid as long as nobody is being too silly.
Real challenges for position. Cody Claiborne is about 0.6 of a second behind Kevin Bonomi at this point. But that is really all that is going on inside the top 10. Cody Claiborne right now on provisional pole for the actual feature race coming up here. Oh, more problems for Matt Johnston. He has crashed out of the final turn. And here comes Tanner DeFavis through turn number 12. And he will be taking his first ever checkered flag here in the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. It is DeFavis with the sprint win at Portland. Costello, a heroic second place from 8th on the grid. And Juan De Gregorio will take the bronze, and he will be mightily disappointed with that one. Caustic Solwij in 4th, Jeff Groff in 5th, and your 4D Racewear Sprint top AM is Zachary Smith, who missed last week at Road Atlanta, but he will take the AM gold here tonight. Nicely done for Tanner DeFavis. We'll see if we can get a word in with him here in just a moment, as we're going to switch over to a brief warm-up session. We'll be throwing it to the mid-roll break. When we come back, we'll get a word in with Tanner DeFavis, your sprint winner here at Portland on turn 200 for the GoSquadra from the Super Series.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Turn 200's coverage of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series is presented by 4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel, designed for sim racing by sim racers. Visit 4dracewear.com and check out the original racing gloves for your feet. And by GoSquadra. GoSquadra's mission is to enhance race team management across all sim racing platforms. Coming soon to GoSquadra.com. Back here to coverage of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series here at Portland, and we'll get a word in with your sprint winner here tonight. It is driver 5, Tanner DeFavis. Excellent work here tonight. Way to stay out of the trouble there in turn number 1. Congrats on the sprint win.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a pretty crazy turn 1. I'm very lucky I didn't get caught up in that.
I mean, I would imagine the memes around Portland when it got added to the service was, there will be death in turn number 1. I mean, a great qualifying effort, but you knew you weren't out of the woods with a good grid start there. I mean, a narrow escape. Talk about the pressure of having to execute and hoping that everybody else around you would there into the first turn.
Yeah, Had an okay start. Zhao got a really good start as usual. He's pretty good at that. So just went super defensive on him, and then once we got past turn 1, there was like a guy who cut the coursers in front of me, so he just had to let me by. But yeah, solid pressure from the guys behind me. So it wasn't an easy race at all. Definitely had to use all the push to pass just to stay away from them. But yeah, it was a good race.
Jeff, I know you got a question for our sprint winner.
Given that you guys caught the last of the cars and within 14 minutes, there's a good chance you're going to be catching some lapped cars before the pit cycle. I'm curious how that's going to you think that's going to impact your race.
I'm not too sure how it'll impact the race. I mean, if I can get to the front, because that's what I'll be aiming for, is to get to the front. Just need to have a good start, avoid the chaos, and then yeah, we'll see how the lap cars play into the race. But yeah, it's a pretty short track, so should be pretty interesting and really fun.
Well, great start to your night, and you've had a great start to your season as well. All things looking up headed into this feature. Congrats on the sprint win, and let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Yeah, definitely has been a pretty good season. Shout-outs to Eclipse. Shout-outs to Michael. He also got up to P2 for a 1-2, so he's starting right behind me, or right in front of me for the race. And yeah, shout-outs to Eclipse and everybody at Eclipse. So yeah.
Alrighty, partner. Best of luck from P10 here on the starting grid into the feature, and we'll hope to talk to you again at the end of 40 minutes.
Yep. See you there, hopefully.
Boy, it's, I mean, you talk about the daunting task of having to work through this field before you even are able to make your pit stop. But really, all the danger lies in turn number 1. With a mixed-up grid here, and especially a lot of fast drivers at the back of this grid who got taken out into the first turn last time. I mean, this is a very dynamic starting grid here for this feature, and it could all go bottoms up again into the first turn.
It very could. We've got people that haven't experienced it behind other cars now getting into the middle of it. It's going to be a pretty crazy start to this race once again.
Certainly, and we'll look forward to that. I do want to give some the folks here a look at what is coming up here on turn 200. Tomorrow night it is the Venom Truck Series from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway, which tomorrow will more than likely be renamed Echo Park Speedway, which fills me with such joy. I love that so much. That'll be so exciting. But we'll get the new version of Atlanta Motor Speedway on the channel tomorrow at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Then Wednesday, it will be the Matt Williamson Special for the ASRL Sports Car Championship at the Nürburgring. Oh boy, the green hell for ASRL at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday night. And then the chase starts for the Max v CNC Home Designs Truck Series at IRP Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, it's time to go racing here for the feature. 40 minutes on tap from Portland in the mixed-up grid. It is Cody Claiborne, Kevin Bonomi on the front row, Dakota DeMade, Zach Flum on row 2, Zachary Smith, Jeff Groff on row 3, Caustic Solwage, Joao de Gregorio, Michael Costello, and Tanner DeFabus round out the top 10. Kyle Allen and Brian Labarge, the first 2 out of the invert. Justin Knoll, Matt Johnston, Sarah Guerra, your top 15. I believe only one driver not going to grid up here other than Jeff Mathis, and that would be Tristan Moss. So we should have 26 drivers who are ready to go.
Yeah, quite awkward. I accidentally joined the actual session instead of spectating the session. That was I clicked the button and went, oh no.
It happens to the best of us, certainly. I think I've got a lot of points from the first 3 ever Daredevil Series races because I always registered as a driver. Well, we got 26 drivers who are hoping to register to turn number 2 of this race. That's easier said than done. The dash is on. Not a great start there from Claiborne. It will be Bonomi who will have the whole shot into the first turn. 3 wide for second, maybe 4 wide. They were there for a moment. Some locking up, some contact. Around goes Brian Labarge. Lots of tires and wings all going shuffling here. And now out of turn number 2, turn number 3, multiple other drivers involved here as well. Man, oh man. Nick Goyette is back to the pits. Problems for Zachary Smith. Peter
was the Eclipse.
Donchak, Brian Labarge, Jeff Lawler, Tommy Reval. They have just crashed, and they are in a heap. The caution is out. Caution.
Kyle Allen's also just slowly making his way around. Smith has got no rear wing.
So the caution is displayed here for the second time this season. And I'll be honest, that was pretty messy. I thought turn one in the sprint was messier as well, but still, caution as there was stuff and people everywhere. Kevin Bonomi, the leader right now. Zach Flaum is in second. Joao de Gregorio has vaulted himself up to third. So a good start for Joao and not a good start for a whole host of other people. Not just through turn one, but turns 2, 3, and 4 as well.
And if my eyes don't deceive me, it appears Michael Costello currently is missing his front wing.
I believe you are correct. That certainly does not appear to be there.
That's a very notable one. Also, Nate Siefker missing a front wing. Going through and looking at all the missing wings here.
So we're riding on the chopper cam above Michael Costello. Let's look at that. They're 4 wide for second. Costello into the back of another Eclipse driver. It might have been Tanner DeFabis. And then around they go. That was Zachary Smith. So we'll try this again above Zachary Smith. We go with TV1 this time. I guess that's 4 wide for third. Either way, 4 wide into turn number 1 here. Oh my goodness. Trying to figure out who that is. That went sailing. That was Brian Labarge. That's who it was. We'll try this one more time.
There's a lot going on in this one.
Yes. So there's the big shot for Labarge.
And then looks like Lawler and a couple others went out somewhere at the end of the festival curbs.
He's just ducking out of there to get to some of our later crashes.
Very well. Ruval, Smith has also been impacted. Groff, Goyette, Allen, those cars all have meatballs. Moss and Lawler are both officially out of this race.
Yeah, so that was Jeff Groff.
Pits are open for damage. These pit stops do not count for the required tire change during the race, but they are allowed to pit as needed for damage.
So that's Nate Siefker off. Of course, Zachary Smith, Caustic Solwij, Michael Costello, Kyle Allen, Nick Goyette, and Tommy Reval also in the pits. But Kevin Bonomi, much like round number 1 of the season, in control of this field now.
Also, a pleasant second place is Zach Flaum. He's the owner of this series and doesn't get to find himself up here as much as he probably should. So good to see him up here as well. And we do have safety car lights out, so we'll be going green this time.
Very exciting stuff. Certainly excited to see Zach Flaum up here. Your Season 1 champ, Joao de Gregorio, got that podium on the sprint, but had second relatively secure before a lockup there into turn number 1. So he would like another crack at a win. And I think if push came to shove, he would certainly like to have the feature more than the sprint. But really, he just needs a good points day. Tiago Spencer is down in the 10th position. I should say he is up to the 10th position because he didn't turn more than a lap in the dash, or rather the sprint earlier. So he had to start all the way back in 23rd. Titus Sherlock just behind him in 11th, same story. Up 10 spots from 21st.
Now, it's very uncommon for people on iRacing's roadside to get to experience full course cautions, so they're going to have colder tires than they're used to, and I think this could be some issues here coming. Cautions tend to breed cautions.
We will see. I don't know if we've ever had 2 in a race before other than Spa to open up last season. Into turn number 1 we go. Back to green. Good jump for Bonomi. Flaum under fire. Here's Di Gregorio peeking to the inside. Flaum gonna go long. He'll have to slow down, but he does a nice job not to make that one anyone else's problem. Oh, problems for Peter Donchak. As he has had a problem into the first chicane, has to weave his way through the bollards there.
Simple miss of the chicane for him. He'll be good to continue.
Di Gregorio still behind Flaum here. That's Cody Claiborne right now, top AM in 4th. He is under fire from their sprint winner, Tanner DeFabis. And now Di Gregorio looking for the move. He's got it. He'll take second as DeFabis and Claiborne got together there into the turn. And Claiborne will lose a spot to G3 or Giros. And now it's Claiborne and Saragera right together, with Thiago Spencer in this mix.
Oh, Costello made a good pass on Nate Siefker, and Siefker lit the tires up coming onto the straightaway.
Here goes Spencer through on Guerra. Titus Sherlock will follow through as well. As more problems for Brian Labarge into turn number 1. Take a quick peek back at the front of this field. Zach Flaum and Titus Sherlock all together as problems for Saragera.
Off in the festival curves, look like they were able to keep the car rolling.
That'll drop Sarah from 10th down to 18th.
Importantly, the car does appear to be in good condition. She's going to have another little off here, but she should be able to continue.
You talked about. Well, we'll get back to that in a second. Tanner DeFabis through on Zach Flaum, and G3 or Giros is going to look to get through here as well.
G3 in USF has had a win at this race as well as in USF Juniors, so probably knows how to drive around Portland fairly well.
I think that's a safe assumption as we're 3 wide for 6 momentarily there into turn 1. Thiago Spencer hanging on to the spot with Titus Sherlock and Cody Claiborne. Has problems for multiple drivers there.
Schlosser has lost his rear
Schlosser.
wing. Schlosser is going to be active with suspension damage.
Let's take a look at it here. Oh, and Schlosser got hit from behind. That was Justin Knoll that made the contact there. I think Knoll just sent it a little bit long into the braking zone.
Incident with Nate Siefker.
Yes.
Quick spin. Oh, it's... Oh, and that's with Solweich. His race is really not going where he wants it to be.
No.
Both cars able to continue.
Siefker back to 19th, Kostic at 18th. And for the lead, here is Johnny Gregorio around Kevin Bonomi into turn number 1. He's got it. Johnny Gregorio is on point. Now DeFabis closing in. As problems for Titus Sherlock into turn number 1. He's around.
Didn't catch if there was any contact there.
Brief look at it there. I mean, he's all by himself here in the overhead shot. But will anybody come flying into frame? No, he was all 4 tires up off the ground there, using all that curbing. Sticking to the right side, right up against the wall. Back to the lead. Di Gregorio and Bonomi. And Bonomi still hounding, wanting to get back up front. And already with a couple of incidents, some damaged cars, lap traffic looming ahead. Oh, no, that's Di Gregorio. Listen to the battle for a second. Goodness gracious. Tanner DeFabis and Kevin Bonomi. Oh, and netcode contact sends DeFabis through.
Oh, is Bonomi hurt? That car doesn't look like it's running good.
No.
No, that car is damaged.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, Bonomi's got...
We'll watch it
Bonomi
overhead.
does have a meatball.
Yeah. I mean, it did not look like they touched from the angle that we were looking at. No, they were not anywhere close to each other. That is a shame that that's what's going to take Kevin Bonomi out of this race. So G3 or Giros now is up to third. I would imagine DeFabus, even though it was netcode contact, he might have some front wing damage. It looks okay from the long shot here. Hard
Been able to get some
sure.
good shots from my stuff. It looks like potentially a little bit of damage, but nothing of any real concern.
I mean, they were somewhat close, but they still had a couple feet between them. That was Bonomi. He's just going to pull it off into the grass. Try and limp this thing back across the other direction to pit road. All right, so Joao de Gregorio leading. Tanner DeFabus in second. G3 Argyros now in third. With Zach Flaum, Thiago Spencer up to fifth. Michael Costello is sixth. Matt Johnston in seventh. Eighth place right now for Titus Sherlock, even after the spin. Cody Claiborne, I believe right now, has the top AM honors, if I'm not mistaken, in the ninth position, with Christian Jasper in 10th. As more problems for Solweij. As, whoa! Matt Johnston off into the grass as Titus Sherlock makes a dive there into turn number 10. Let's see if Christian Jasper is going to have a go on Claiborne for ninth. Not at the moment. Take a look at what happened to Kostic in the meantime. On the left-hander, it just gets out from underneath of him. Missed by oncoming traffic. He should be okay to continue.
And pits will be open for the scheduled services at the end of this lap, so very interesting to see if there's any early comers.
Tanner DeFabus, a second and a half behind Joao de Gregorio. G3 or Giros right now runs in third. Looking at the lap times, last time by, it was purple lap for DeFabus. Lots of personal bests going up on the board. G3 and Joao de Gregorio both ran personal best last time by. Riding with Tanner DeFabus. As you could hear as he goes through turn number 11 and 12, all that dirt and all the rocks and debris and sediment on the track. And plenty of folks have been off the track in both sessions here. And through practice and qualifying and the warm-up and all that fun stuff. More problems for Kostic. He is around in turn number 1, crossing back to the near side, and I think that is going to be race over for him. We'll go back to Thiago Spencer, who is sandwiched between Zach Flaum, who still rides in 4th, and Michael Costello behind him in 6th. And here's Costello, keeping it nice and tidy there on the right-hander. Trying to fire back down the boulevard. And Costello hangs on to the spot. Nicely done. Oh, but ran it wide and got the rear tires up off the ground. And Spencer going to have to try and take the long way around here back into turn number 1. Oh, he sent it long. Trying to get to the inside there. Keeps it out of the tub of Costello. And Costello will hang on to the spot. That was controlled, but right on the edge of it. As Titus Sherlock now is joining the fray.
Looks like Justin Knoll is our first person to get their pit stop out of the way.
Just got a notification that Tristan Moss has passed Jeff Mathis, 4th position.
How's he done that?
I don't know. Here's Costello now looking for fourth. He's got it. Flaum back to fifth. Oh, and that was Thiago Spencer. I mean, that car had all four corners pointing in different directions at one point. Yikes. Tanner DeFabis is inching his way closer to Joao de Gregorio. It was a second and a half last time we checked in. Now it is under 1.2 seconds. This long, high-speed back straightaway. I'd imagine a little bit of toe through into turn number 10. Same goes for the front stretch. Go back now as Spencer on Flaum will get it. So Flaum back to sixth. Next up, tied to Sherlock, and then Flaum will have about 3 seconds of breathing room back to Matt Johnston. Sherlock looking to the inside into turn number 1, and he'll take the spot. Back to DeFabis' quest for the sweep. 0.8 of a second to De Gregorio. G3 about 3 seconds behind, running in third. It's a lot of threes. Well, something tells me Justin Knoll had some kind of other issue because he was on pit road for 2.5 minutes. Oh, problems for Dakota DeMade. He's back on track, down in 12th now. Here's DeFabis. Half a second up the road, the race leader. Titus Sherlock and Thiago Spencer are about to do battle here as well. We'll cut back to that here momentarily. So they've got a lapper yielding. It's Donchak into turn 10. Into turn number 1. Back up front. That's where it all went wrong for De Gregorio. Last time he was under fire for position in the sprint. And into turn number 1 now. This is Titus Sherlock overtaking Thiago Spencer. Sherlock up to 5th. Spencer long into the braking zone, but keeps it out of the back of Sherlock. Matt Johnston and Christian Jasper having a spirited battle here as well into turn number 4. Johnston hanging on to the 8th position for now. Here we go into turn number 10. DeFabis might have a look. It was a good look, but De Gregorio did not back down. Now, can he do anything into turn number 1? Not yet, but he is chomping at the bit. Thiago Spencer down pit road from P6, and I would imagine that's going to turn some heads inside the top 5.
Very likely. And a little bit of housekeeping. Currently, Claiborne is leading AM Guerra second, and Stoll third. Donchak has pulled off.
Sarah Guerra also down pit road. I mean, it's as comfortable of an advantage for Cody Claiborne right now as you can have. As Zach Flaum has gone spinning. Flaum from 6th now will pull back onto the track in P9. Back up front.
Spencer out of the pit lane, and very specifically, he currently does not have any cars around him, so he'll have some nice clean air for his wings as he has to deal with these cold tires. So that potentially could be a very, very positive move for him.
It's good engineering work to get him a gap to drop into.
It's what you want as a race car driver, especially in these cars that are so aero sensitive. If you can get yourself out there and clean track, life is simply easier.
Well, the Fabus has hit this 0.3 of a second bubble. About a car length between the top two, but he cannot get through. Looking for a good exit out of 12 to maybe try something into turn 1. Little pump fake action there to driver's right into the right-hander. Can't make anything stick. Or rather, Di Gregorio can make it stick. Jasper and Johnston now with a little bit of space between them as Jasper has made the pass up to 6th.
Oh, Di Gregorio and DeFabus are very close going onto the back straightaway.
Lockstep. Now's the chance for DeFabus. To the left. Elbows out, and it's a pass for the lead. DeFabus on point. First time Di Gregorio has not been in control of this field since turn 1 of the restart.
And the major effects there once you're out of behind another car, especially if you've been around for a couple laps, now you got a lot better air on that front wing and it really shifts the balance forward. So DeFabus has got to be pretty on top of it, although these guys are going to be pretty on top of it. And Di Gregorio is going to have to deal with more understeer, and they're both going to have to deal with some lap traffic here shortly.
And they're both going to have to start thinking about making a pit stop as well. That is where Matt Johnston is right now after he gave up the battle for 6th with Christian Jasper. He will bring it down pit road. Lap car trying to yield. Into turn number 1 as Joie gets a look. DeFabus got loose under braking. And Joie still got to run here into turn number 4. Not going to have enough, though.
Luckily, they caused stall on the straightaway, but there's a lot of places on this track where it's simply hard to get out of the way. Even if you're doing everything you can, it can just be hard to stop existing.
Fastest driver on the track right now is Michael Costello back in 4th. But G3 is faster than both of the top 2 currently as they continue to battle away. Looking at the times across the stripe. In the mid 57s, now 56.88 for Costello, which is 400ths off the purple lap. I mean, he is piping in some real quality laps here. Trying to close up what is a 7-second gap up to 10 to Fabus for the lead. But of course, they'll have G3 and Joie between him and the race leader for now. Pit stop still to go for all of them.
Yeah, first car that's on the that's already made their stop that is relevant at this point is Tiago Spencer, and he's being able to run pretty solid laps. He hasn't really had any issues so far, but he's still not able to make enough of a inroads to really worry the top 5 or so cars.
Well, he did pit from 6th, I want to say, maybe 5th. Either way, his tires will be very well up to temperature by the time that the drivers that he was running around will have to come down pit road. This track, maybe more than some of the others we go to, might favor the undercut, although the majority of the drivers staying out maybe would indicate otherwise. Where do you fall on this one?
Due to the short lap, you're definitely going to have rough times on cold tires, and it's going to take a fair few laps, so you don't want to leave it too late. However, the 109-degree track temp that we currently have is going to do. It's not the 130 that we've seen previously. So this is pretty warm, and it's going to help get some energy into the tires. And as long as you're able to survive the cold portion, they're probably going to last moderately well, but you could have some degradation issues. So Tiago's definitely on the early end of where I think you would really want to have come in at, although he's been doing pretty good this year, so it's definitely a very meritable strategy. But I expect we're going to see a lot of the cars come in later and try for the overcut.
G3 is applying the pressure as Christian Jasper is down pit road. Tanner DeFabis now 1.5 seconds ahead. Joie is trying to fend off G3. Oh, Matt Johnston is way off the road.
I was about to say Jasper to Johnston would give you a good idea of how well the overcut's been working, but
not anymore.
If he's decided to go on a little safari, then that would make it a little bit harder to get any good information. And I'm just wanting to verify, does he have a front wing? He does, just hard to see against the tarmac. And a quick update, AM standings, currently 3 AMs are still running. Claiborne, Guerra, Stoll in that order. Claiborne is nearly a lap ahead of Guerra at this point, so unlikely to have any major issues. They're all really actually about a third of the track away from each other. So pretty calm race at this time in the AM class. Well, it looks like G3 has shown up to the back of Di Gregorio pretty well.
Tanner DeFabis in from the lead.
I do believe my iRacing just crashed.
Well, that's no good.
Sure isn't.
So there's service complete for Tanner DeFabis, as it is now Joao de Gregorio back in front, but he's got G3 Argyros right behind him. And G3 is not letting Joao get up the road at all. Cody Claiborne top AM in as well. See if any of the leaders come down pit road. No, they would need to make that move already, and they have not. Costello staying out. Sherlock staying out as well. Back on point. Nearly nose to tail. With more lap cars ahead. There's the move for the lead. Side by side, down the back straightaway. It is G3 Argyros right now with the lead. Joao is coming back on the inside, though, into turn number 10. But G3 holds on. And again, that is not the net race lead, but here comes G3 and Joao down pit road. Michael Costello now will be at the front of this field, as it was a move to the lead for G3 and Joao and him both coming down pit road. We'll go back to Tanner DeFabis, who is in traffic on cold tires, and see where he comes out relative to the drivers that were running around him. They're on pit exit now. DeFabis trying to make a move on Dakota DeMade, who's going to be stuck in the middle of the battle for the lead. Here is DeFabus with tire temperature. But G3 right now with the positioning on track. DeFabus going to have to work for it. If he can catch him in a good spot, headed down the back straightaway out of turn number 8. Titus Sherlock going to pit from second. Still Michael Costello, the race leader, with a pit stop to go for him. And here comes the move, some blocking. DeFabus. Oh, and contact! They're both off the road. G3 is back on, and DeFabus is into the barriers. And that is Tanner DeFabus' race, and the chance for the sweep is over. G3 still on the track. A full second, make it 2 seconds ahead of Joao de Gregorio.
Yeah, I just saw the replay of that. It's a it's very tough in these cars because they are so fast and they're very light, so they don't require a lot of braking. So that chicane down there that in most cars should be a big braking point, in these cars it is just a quick brush of the brakes, downshift to fifth, and you're on the throttle. So trying to go too wide through there is just very sketchy.
I mean, looking at it, I don't think there's actual contact. I think netcode is in there, but I mean, those two were going to make contact regardless. I think it just accelerated the issue there. May have swung the pendulum more in favor of G3 Argyros, though, however. So he is still on track. De Gregorio, though, G3 having some problems here. And you can see a little bit shorter on the left side of the front wing there. And De Gregorio will be all over that.
Labarge is a simple off and on there. As you can tell, I do have my racing back on.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Seat's still warm. It's great. Not as warm as Argyros' seat is right now, but...
No, definitely not. Yeah, and G3 trying to shortcut it through turn number 9 there, or turn number 8 rather. As Joao, with a very healthy front wing, is going to take over provisional lead of this race. It's for second currently, as Michael Costello is still out on track.
I think G3 may have had the very recent memory there and decided to back out a little early, a little extra.
I am showing a pit stop for Michael Costello, but of course he was missing his front wing on the first lap of the race, so that does not count towards his pit count.
No, he will still need to pit and take a set of new tires.
But he's got 2.25 seconds back to Joao de Gregorio currently. G3 Argyros running in third. Zach Flaum, I believe, also yet to make his pit stop. He's running in the 4th position. And Titus Sherlock, I believe, would be on provisional podium, as it were, running 5th at the moment. You mentioned Cody Claiborne with a big lead on Sarah Guerra. Now it's only 8 seconds between the two. At least that's how I'm showing it on scoring. So
I am not certain. It's hard to tell with having restarted. I'm seeing everybody has had short stints, but I don't know if that's from when I came back to life.
Oh, Sebring
stole. Zach just announced that he was pitting in this lap, so that answers that question pretty simply.
So we'll see Flaum head to pit road. There he goes. So,
tough pit entry, this one.
Yes.
Stoll lucky not to have got the car stuck on the curbing there.
So G3 now back it up to Titus Sherlock, still with that front wing damage. Has about 12 seconds back to Thiago Spencer, so I would imagine in the next 4 minutes, without further issue, he should be able to hang on for a provisional podium here, as he's only about 5.5 seconds behind Michael Costello, who is yet to make his official qualifying pit stop.
And Sherlock getting around G3 here. I'm sure he heard the issue from his teammates, so not even needing a decisive pass. He just pulled out and passed one straight away.
So now it is 2.8 seconds up the road to Joao de Gregorio for Titus Sherlock, who started in 21st in this race after problems in the sprint in turn number 1.
Now, we don't have a lot of time left, and catching Joao is one thing. Passing Joao is an entirely separate thing. So, Titus, he's a very good driver. He's the reigning champion, but his day is definitely not going to be easy from here on out. He's still got a lot of hard work to do.
Well, we're seeing as, Titus Sherlock just went off the road.
He's all the way around.
Oh, my goodness.
And he's going to join in just in front of Flaum. Between Dumaid and Flaum.
Now, the comment that we just got was that Michael Costello came down pit road on lap 30. Now, I missed that pit stop, unless I said it out loud, in which case I did not miss it. But I will say, if he does not have to make his pit stop, he was the fastest driver on track, so it would not surprise me one bit if he has gotten the jump on everybody else.
Yes, no, he did do his pit stop on lap 30-31, so this is a real position, and he is where he is.
Well, egg on my face, but Michael Costello knows how to win these races just because he slipped under the radar. I mean, he is right now 2.3 seconds ahead. I will say, last time by, Joao de Gregorio ran a personal fastest lap, but it was not as fast as the lap Michael Costello ran. So Costello, with about 2 laps to go at the stripe here, is on for the win, despite what I've been saying for the last 6 or 7 laps, waiting for this pit stop that already happened. So thanks for the comment. Really appreciate it. Even though it makes me look foolish, at least I'm correct now, and we're not going to be bewildered heading into the post-race here. So Michael Costello leading the way. Joao de Gregorio and now G3 Argyros now will re-inherit third with problems for Titus Sherlock. Sherlock is 9 seconds back. So he'll need a similar problem for anybody in the top 3 to get back on podium. Two and a half seconds. Time is running out. De Gregorio even with the lapper between the two. Costello will see the white flag this time.
Just got to get around the lap traffic here. Lap traffic pulls away very nicely. It's a very smart thing, especially in a league setting where you know you're going to be seeing the people next week. It's always a good idea just to... some days aren't your days, and you just need to not impact everybody else's day when they're not.
Is drawn with a ton of traffic now. No chance to catch up to Costello as long as he can keep all 4 tires on the tarmac here. He will be on his way to his 2nd career GoSquadra Formula Super Series victory, as Cody Claiborne will be on the way to the 4D Racewear Top Am honors of the event. Clocks are at 0, and rounding the final turn, Michael Costello en route to his 2nd career GoSquadra Formula Super Series victory. Costello will take the first feature on turn 200 at the Portland International Raceway. The JSelmants Pacific Northwest Grand Prix goes to Michael Costello. Joao de Gregorio in 2nd, and 3rd will belong to G3 Argyros. Sarah Guerra has put in quite the effort to try and catch up to Cody Claiborne. It was an 8-second gap when we looked earlier. Now it is 2.8 seconds. But Claiborne still with the position here.
Sadly, just not enough time to. Great pace, great effort, but just not quite enough time to make anything much more out of it.
So 40 Raceware Top Am honors here at Portland go to Cody Claiborne. As we ride along now with your feature winner here tonight for the first time this season, second time in his career. All I'll say is thank God somebody was paying attention, because apparently I was not.
Yeah, that would have been quite awkward.
Yeah. Been like, well, why didn't you pit?
And Tommy, if you can take a look at our chat on Discord.
The burnouts, short and sweet. Nicely done for Michael Costello. Hard-fought, well-deserved victory here, using the pit strategy to his advantage. We will take a look at your full finishing rundown here as soon as I can find the button. I don't know why it always does that to me. But there we go. Here is your feature results after 40 minutes here tonight. Michael Costello with the win. Joao de Gregorio will finish in second, and third we'll go to G3 Argyros. We'll talk to these three folks in just a second. Fourth place to Titus Sherlock. It is P5 for Tiago Spencer, Christian Jasper, and 6 Cody Claiborne. 40 Raceware Top Am of the night. We'll finish in 7th with Matt Johnston and 8th, Sarah Catera in 9th, and Brian Labarge. Your top 10. 11th for Dakota DeMade. It'll be P12 for Zach Flaum, Nate Siefker in 13th, Sebring Stoll will finish in 14th, Justin Knoll in 15th, Tanner DeFavis in 16th, Peter Donchak in 17th, Caustic Solwij in P18. Retirements from Peter Donchak gone down as well for Kevin Bonomi in the 19th position. It is P20 for Matt Schlosser, Zachary Smith in 21st, 22nd for Kyle Allen, Nick Goyette, Tommy Reval, Jeff Lawler, and Jeff Groff, the 26th that actually took the green flag here. A lot of those drivers at the bottom of the list here did not make it very far into this 40-minute feature, and they certainly did not see the drop of the checkers. As we'll go in search of first your 40 Raceware Top Am of the event. It is Cody Claiborne here tonight, driver 31, with the 7th place overall finish from the pole of this feature. But, man, a very interesting race here tonight, but congrats on the Top Am honors.
Thanks. It's yeah, there was a lot of carnage today and managed to mostly keep it on track tonight.
I mean, that was easier said than done for sure. I mean, I think we all knew that Portland was going to be challenging, especially dangerous into turn number 1 heading into tonight. But how did the expectations play out to what happened in reality?
I mean, this is great for me. I mean, yesterday was the first time seeing the track. So after kind of throwing away a potentially good finish first week, I'm glad to actually pull it through today.
Well, I mean, what's the plan for the season? We've got you up here in the booth, I think, for the first time. But it feels like you've not had very good luck through the first few races. Maybe some positive momentum headed into another off week in Montreal in 2 weeks.
Yeah, hopefully I can just keep it on track. That's honestly my biggest opponent these days. If I can just do that, I know Sarah's gonna put in a really good performance every week, so I gotta do the same.
Well, it's great to get to talk to you once again up here in the booth, and let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Yeah, thanks to you guys for doing the broadcast, and shout out to my teammate Dakota. Go by Echo Blade on Steam.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats on the Top Am honors here tonight, and go celebrate. We'll hope to talk to you again in Montreal.
Thank you. See ya.
Cody Claiborne's been up here in the booth before, but a first-time Booth 200 appearee will be G3 Argyros. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly or not.
It's Argyros, but you got it close enough.
Gosh, I feel like I flip-flopped like 3 or 4 times during the race. But regardless, congrats on the drive here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was definitely a hard one. Obviously, I have a lot of experience here. I won my first race in USF 2000 here. But, the race winning move for me was the same thing that happened in this race. But I feel bad for Tanner, but I was, in the grass and he took the racing line. So I'm sorry for him for him getting, crashing, but that's racing. I thought that we had a lot of pace. I just wanted to thank the series and thank my sponsors. This was a real fun one, and I'll hopefully be back in the couple for the future.
How does it? It's a relatively newly scanned track. How does it compare to what it is in real life?
It's almost identical. Everything from the curb usage and the texture of the track. It's all very good. So Iverson did a great job on this scan, as always.
Well, you had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to watch you anyway here tonight, and you certainly had to get your elbows out there, having to come all the way back from 24th in this one. So thanks for the time here tonight, and congrats on the first podium here in the form of the Super Series.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good night, y'all.
We'll pull up your second place driver now. It is Joao de Gregorio, who will take home a double podium here tonight, and will bring it home runner-up in the feature here this evening. Welcome back to the booth.
Hi, guys. Have a very good night. The race today was very tough. I was a little lucky to get alive after the first corner, but the pace here against the titles, against Michael, against Argyros, am I missing someone? Tanner. It's very, very hard to. It's very, very hard to follow them here. It was my first time on the track, and I think the session was very good because we had a lot of points today, and our rivals just got killed. But I didn't have the pace here, so today it's a lesson to learn to be back strong at Canada, and I think it's that I had two very, very good starts. The second one was amazing, but that was only the highlights of the session.
I feel like this is a very tough track to come to for the first time and have to be competitive with how short it is and how fast it is. I mean, you guys are going very, very fast around this track.
Yeah, 50, 57, 56 seconds. I think we are 1 or 2 seconds faster than IndyCar here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's very insane. IndyCar is already a sub 1 minute here in this track, and we are going like 56. So this is very difficult track, and very, very easy to kill yourself. I had a moment at turn 1. I had a moment at the hairpin. I had a moment after the chicane. It was a very, very difficult. I was just trying to stay very good to points. So I think it's a mission accomplished. I wasn't aiming to win because I didn't have the pace.
Well, certainly just to survive this race is one thing, but with a double podium here tonight, it's a very good result for you. Congratulations on a successful night here tonight at Portland, and let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Many thanks for the league. I just want to say thank you to Pro Racing Simuladores, Duex, Pichal, HH Timing, and Racing Engineer. Those are my sponsors. So see you later, and see you at Canada.
That's the plan, partner. Congrats on a good night, and we'll hope to talk to you in Montreal. All right, well, he may have snuck in his pit stop on us, but there's no doubt Michael Costello was the fastest driver on track for most of the night. We'll take home a sprint podium and the win here tonight in the feature. Welcome back to the booth, partner. It's been too long, but congrats on the win.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I mean, there was a lot going on here through this race, but certainly you knew how to pick them off here tonight. whether it was getting your elbows out and making the passes here into the fast turns, or waiting for the damage to unfold around you. I mean, you got it done both ways.
Yeah, I mean, I think a huge part of it was knowing kind of what to expect beforehand from doing the USF 2000 series last year. But yeah, I mean, it was just a great race, you know. I got really unlucky on the first lap, which dropped me. I had to make a first pit stop for damage, and I didn't even take tires, nothing. And I took a lot of optionals. Like, I barely made the safety car queue. And I mean, from that point on, I was just like, well, you know what? If I want to win this race, I'm going to have to like send it 110%. And well, I mean, that's all I did. And yeah, I mean, it was just a great race.
I mean, we obviously missed your pit stop there, as we were wondering why you were waiting until the last couple of laps there. But I mean, it made sense to pit when you did, because at the time that we lost you somewhere in the shuffle, you were the fastest driver on track. You were inside the top 5, and they were battling for the top 3 positions, all right there. I mean, that was a great jump on everybody around you.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw my times were, you know, about around a second faster than them. So I was like, well, when they pit, I'm just going to try and go longer, because the tires take a really long time to come in. So if I could, you know, get that gap and maybe sneak a pit stop in there, great. If it doesn't work, it's worth the effort. But thankfully for me, it did work. And, you know, a huge thank you to Titus for kind of giving me that information. He kind of just let me know where everyone was coming out, where he kind of played against everyone. So I just knew, all right, well, you know what, I'm just going to go one lap longer. And, well, I mean, yeah, it worked. So.
Well, what's the plan for the rest of the season? We've got the win here now. What are the rest of the goals? How many more races are we running?
I mean, I think I should be able to do the rest of the season. Most likely. I don't think I have anything conflicting like I did the first 2 rounds. But I mean, the goal for the season is to be champion. I mean, if I could drive like how I did tonight, and I mean, my new approach kind of to the series is working. So it's just, you know, keeping calm, cool, and just kind of letting the race come to you. And yeah, I mean, I'm just going to keep doing my thing. And if it works, it doesn't. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
So you've got 7 more rounds to do exactly what you did in this race, which is drive all the way up through the pack, but this time just with the point standings. So we're certainly looking forward to that. Congrats on the win here tonight, and let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Yeah, thank you. I want to thank all of Eclipse Competition. You know, without them, probably wouldn't even be racing the league. You know, me and Titus started the team about over a year now, and we just been working really, really hard. And yeah, I mean, a lot of time and effort goes into it, and I think it's showing results now in the series. You know, I want to thank all my sponsors, ProGuard Warranty, EDA Eyewear, and Racesuit Valet for keeping me on track in real life. And yeah, obviously, I want to thank you guys for the stream and the series. And yeah, that's all I really got tonight.
Well, good stuff here tonight. Congrats on a successful first round of the season for you here tonight at Portland, and go celebrate. We'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Good stuff here from Michael Costello here tonight. His second career GoSquadra Formula Super Series feature victory. What a night. What a debut for Portland. It was, I think, everything that we wanted out of it. Good racing, aggressive, very fast-paced racing. And, of course, death and destruction into turn number 1 as well. We'll roll into some of our upcoming events here on Turn 200. Of course, tomorrow night it is the penultimate round of the chase for the Venom Truck Series. The chase for the Nathan Reynolds Cup will head to Atlanta Motor Speedway 22. That is the super speedway version of the track. Excited to see what lies ahead tomorrow night at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Matt Williamson and James Watson will have the call for the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport from the Nürburgring. Green Hell kicks off at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday night. Thursday night, it is the first round of the chase for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. They're going short track racing at IRP. Excited to get to Lucas Oil at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time No GoSquadra Formula Super Series action next week, but in 2 weeks' time, on a Monday, we'll be live from Circuit Gilles Villeneuve at Montreal, the Canadian Grand Prix Formula 1 track, and well-timed for that one as well, as the real-life drivers will be in and around there as well. Catch us again at 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. That is all we got for you here tonight. Thank you to everybody that was hanging out with us. Engine Motor, Matt Short, and Zach. Appreciate it all. And, thank you to our Zach with the Formula Racing Series and the Formula Super Series. Thanks to the entire admin team for that one. And thank you to GoSquadra and to 4D Racewear for their continued support of the GoSquadra Formula Super Series. That's all we got for you here tonight. Until we meet again for Turn 200. On behalf of Mr. Jeff Mathis, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to Michael Costello. Second career GoSquadra Formula Super Series feature victory here tonight at Portland International Raceway. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.